Okay, just a couple more examples of why things just don't seem to be working the way it seems they ought to work if language is just about kind of arranging words around in a sequence. So, another thing you can do, perfectly sensible to say in English, John's mom loves him, where him just refers to John, right? So him is this pronoun that just points back to John. John's mom loves him. Him refers to John. Well, so it seems like, oh yeah, so there's just seems to be this sensible rule that a pronoun like him just always refers back to something in the first part of the sentence. So I can just use that whenever I want to refer back to something in the first part of the sentence. So why can't I just say John loves him when him just refers back to John? Now, of course, I could say John loves him if I'm talking about, well, Justin Bieber or, I don't know, Dustin Hoffman or some other person, but I just can't use him in this case to refer back to John. I have to be referring to some other person, not John. So again, you can ask, well, why not? I could use him to refer to John in that first sentence, so why can't I do it in the second? There's nothing about the words on the page there that should limit my ability to do that. One more instance. These are things called negative polarity items, where it seems you can only use them when certain other words in the sentence have a negative polarity. They're kind of on the, negative or denial side of things. So if you've been like me, you're caught without like really good sanitizers before we went into lockdown here, you've been calling around stores and asking, do you have Lysol? Now, that's a perfectly fine question to ask, and perfectly sensible answers are no, we don't have Lysol, or yes, we have Lysol. So it seems like, oh yeah, to answer that question, you just, repeat back to me either no or yes, and then what I asked. You have Lysol? No, we don't have Lysol. Yes, we have Lysol. So it seems like, well, any words I throw in that question, you should be able to form those answers the same way. So if I ask, do you have any Lysol? Then, yep, the rule works. You can say, no, we don't have any Lysol. Just like when I ask, do you have Lysol? You just say, no, we don't have Lysol. Now, when I ask, do you have any Lysol? You just say, no, we don't have any Lysol. So I should also be able to respond when I ask, do you have any Lysol? Yes, we have any Lysol. Blah, but I can't. Now, why not? Because it sure seems like the general rule for how to answer a question like that is just to take the have any Lysol and just repeat it with either a yes, we do or no, we don't. And yet, I can do that in all these other cases, but not this one. I can't say yes, we have any Lysol, even though it's perfectly sensible to say no, we don't have any Lysol. So this any seems to be something that can only fit into the sentence if some other bit of the sentence has a negation, a no in it somehow. Well, gosh, there's nothing about those words on the page there that should mandate that. Moreover, all of these things that I've talked about in this video and the last ones, I bet no one ever told you this before. No one ever sat you down and said, like, use it like this, but not like that. In fact, you've probably never even noticed that these are things you can't do because, well, we just don't do them. It would be weird. So then you have to ask, well, why? Why don't we just do them? Because it sure seems like it would be a sensible thing to do. And that gets you thinking, yeah, there must be some rules that we're born with that are just causing us to say things one way and not another. Because if there's not something there in our minds, there's nothing about the words that we're hearing that should limit our ability to form these constructions that I've been talking about.